between 10 and 15 minutes each, and you have 4 different options there to go to those stations. Okay. And then determine groups with proposed activities. You may do one, all, or none. Okay, once they get there and realize how little time they have, I keep telling my class, you don't realize how little time you're actually going to have. This all sounds fantastic and wonderful, but it's going to go like that for them. So just being fluid with what your group wants to do is fine with us. If they said they're going to do the egg drop this whole time and they no longer want to do the egg drop, once they get there, they see all these rides and see all the friends come to the rides, that might be more appealing. So feel free to kind of just do how your group is functioning. What I've told my class is democracy works. So if you have 8 kids in your group, 5 want to go do this, 2 don't, you're going with the majority. So hopefully they go with that. Any questions about that? You want to hit the next slide? Okay, lunch. Lunch is going to be served in the pavilion. And I'm sure that there will be maps provided when we get there. If you're not unsure of the territory there and you want a map, I'm sure we can get you one. Lunch is going to be served from 12 to 1:30. So we want you to arrive before 1 p.m. so that everybody's got their food, because it cuts off at 1:30. So no more food will be handed out past that time. And those kids need to make sure that they get a lunch in them, because whether they think they're hungry or not, and they want to go ride rides, which I know is really appealing, they need to get some food in them. And it is included for chaperones as well. And it's a chicken nugget meal. So unless you have dietary restrictions of eating chicken nuggets, we prefer that you stick with that or bring something that's an alternative from home to eat, because we just don't want that purchasing meals out there for kids to be seeing and thinking that that's an option. Okay. And then just do not share meals with students, including your own child. Questions about that? Okay, arrival. Departing and arriving. We're going to meet at Kings Island. You are more than welcome to follow the bus. We are leaving school arrived normal time, and we were supposed to be at the park at 11 a.m. So you can choose to follow the bus in your vehicle, or just make sure you are at the park by 11 a.m. I don't think we have heard where exactly our bus is going to be parking, or specifically where we're going to be, or how those gates work. So when we arrive at the park, we're going to have you guys get with your groups. We're going to have wristbands. So every group is going to have a color, so you guys can identify your kiddos and we can kind of keep track. And then once you get organized, we will give specific instructions on like what gates we go through, where we should be, and when. That sound good?
We'll leave Spring Mill around 8:30, I think. Yes.
I need a question. I think that this is gonna be for me, like, the most complicated part, like, where are we going? And so how are you gonna communicate with us?
We are going to be live on Parent Square as well, right? So be checking Parent Square messages. I don't know what the parking lot situation is, but I'm going to assume that they have bus parking lots. Every park I've been to has designated spots for buses. So if you arrive before our bus, just keep a lookout. We'll send a message saying we're at the park, just in case somebody goes to a different part of some parking lot. I don't know how big this place is. We'll make sure that we've got everybody designated where we're at.
And we're still waiting on Kings Island to give us this information. So when we know more, we'll send it out to you. But I think if you're with a field trip, I don't know. I could be wrong. I think you should be able to just.
So you guys
come
get
in.
more information.
Yes.
We will get more information and we send that to you.
Okay, so again, as soon as we get off the bus, we'll have chaperones organized with their groups. You'll have a list of every child that's in your group. So just get them together. We'll put the wristbands on, and we'll have a little short moment to just kind of organize, see where you're going to go. Make sure we have times of where we're going to be and when. Set. And at the end of the day, so groups must be back for departure location no later than 3:45, and that's restroom breaks included in that. So make sure, as parents, go. I don't care if you think you need to or not. We got a bus ride to get home, right? So make sure before you get back at that 3:45, that bathroom break has been in there. We're gonna hand out some snacks for that, for them on the bus when they get there. So we're just gonna have kids line up on the bus that they're designated to get on. We'll be handing out snack bags to them, get on the bus, head back. Okay, and then our arrival should be to Spring Mill about 6:15-ish. And again, 30 minutes out, we're gonna send out a parent square as to exact what time for those of you not specifically following the buses. Questions about that?
So you said that if we are going to follow behind the buses, we need to be at Spring Mill at what time?
In the, I guess we even talked about it in the past, when we used to go on the trips, that was fine, they just had to be signed out.
Right. We'll double check that to make sure that that's okay with admin, because that's something we haven't
Yeah.
specifically asked them. So, but we will, but I
And then
mean,
the same thing with going there. I know today I received some questions from students and we need to talk as a team and then with admin, making sure that if you want to ride, right? But I didn't talk to them about that, but I asked you that today.
great question.
I had a quick question. Why
Yeah.
was this trip designated in the middle, kind of like on a weekday as opposed to like a weekend?
So,
It's we're going on a STEM day, and so there's like 4 different days, and they're all in the middle of the week. And so we wanted to go so they could have these experience with this little STEM activities and stuff, and so that was just the day that wasn't during our iLearn window, and
yeah, Kings Island Education Day
Mhm.
has like package, so it has like these 10 days plus the lunch
Mhm.
and plus that includes all the rides. So we just thought that was better, like bang for our buck, if these kids could do this egg drop and have these science and STEM activities, and that includes their lunch, then we could do that. And so that's something that was. That's
And the next day is field day, right?
next
Mhm.
day's field day, and so.
Yeah, that took Friday out.
Yeah. I think so, sure.
Oh, sorry.
But-
This be shorter than today too.
Okay.
Say something. So, yeah.
And you have this on your slide. It kind of gives us the breakdown of what our schedule is going to be. Okay, so any questions about our schedule? Is that it? Okay, so the last thing that we talked about was having a dress code. So dress code for students and chaperones should be school appropriate. And then we also thought, and I love that Casey brought this up, we were hoping that everybody had some sort of Spring Mill shirt or something, because not every student knows every parent. And if somebody is somewhere, but they see a Spring Mill parent, they can identify them, hopefully through some sort of Spring Mill gear. And that would be like a visual from a distance. If I get separated somehow from my group, I can find at least a Spring Mill representative to get back to. We're also gonna have the wristband so they know what group they go with, because everybody doesn't know the groups. Yes,
I made me a shirt, like a Spring Mill type of shirt with some bulldogs on it. Is that cool to wear?
Yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely. And I think the kids seeing the visual of everybody in their gear to begin with, they would know. I remember that shirt, so that's somebody I can approach. So obviously, just wearing, the rest of the clothing, just school appropriate. Kids need to all wear their t-shirts. Okay.
During the PTO closet, so we need to distribute those. I'll talk to you guys about that later.
Perfect, sounds great.
Couple of kids waiting for those to get out. They're currently sitting in.
Any questions about before, during, or after?
I have a question.
Yes,
Do you have access to any shirts that a parent could purchase?
Mrs. Oglesby does.
If you guys wanna get a shirt, just after this meeting, I'll stay in here and let me know and I'll write down your info and send one home for you. I don't know. if you
She's
can-
got them at cost for $5.
Yeah.
If you're interested in getting one.
I don't know if this is already said when I was out, but we welcome you guys to take pictures of the kids. Please do not post them on your personal Facebook. Please send them to us. We can post them on the Spring Mill. If you want to post pictures, then it's just you and your child. But please do not post any of the other children on your personal Facebook. But take all the pictures. We want all the pictures, but send them directly to us. on Parent Square or Miss Kim, whatever, and we'll put it on the Spring Mill or Miss Kim put the Spring Mill Facebook page. Right, that's, and I don't know if the parents or whatever, like on TikTok, like please no TikToks or anything. Even if your kid asks, and that's a big reason why they're not having the kids bring their cell phones, is for the pictures and for the TikToks. We have issues already with having pictures with it, so we're trying to minimize that and just honor all of that and all of their privacy.
That's all I have if my folks don't have anything and parents don't have anything.
I got a quick plan. I know parents are trying to do stuff. I was just curious about who's all decided to drive. Because I am not driving.
I like this head. It's something we're going to say, this parking lot right here. We were gonna have all the parents that want to carpool be in like the more. That's part of it, so this part over here, so door 7 is right here, so it's like on this side, so like right where this playground is, right on this, if you guys wanna park there and meet there. Because no one really parks over there, you start getting parking over here, you're getting to some of the staff parking, so yeah. But I just wanted to say that really quick, park over there, and you guys can converse.
Yes, this would be a great time for you guys to get together, decide who wants to carpool.
Yeah, or we can set up something when people want to carpool, meet at like 8, 10, because like I know I have one person coming back for.
Yeah. Okay. And we at 8:10 if you want to carpool, and then you just say, I don't want to drive, or I'm okay with driving, because I understand people stuck to movie inside the car, and that's a good way.
And if you decide later, we can always pass the name on to Casey or somebody who's got the widespread email service, so we can get your name out, we can figure it out. If you need to ride with somebody, just send a note with your child or email one of us and we can figure out what we can do to help.
And I think our, if you're helping with the 5th grade celebration, that will start here in a couple of minutes. So if you do want to spend time now, figuring out. Right. Or, yeah, right. Spring Mountain or King Island.
I have a question just about end of the year activities. So we have that last week, we've got, obviously, we got Kings Island, we've got field day the next day. Then we got, the projects, the capstone projects. Like, what time of the day is that gonna be for parents? And then like Thursday, what are the times?
Okay, well, before we get into that, I'm happy to get to that, but is there any other Kings Island things that we can take care of first before we get into the end of the year things? I definitely want to go over that capstone because I've tried to put as much information in my email and Parent Square, but.
Even if they beg, I beg you even more, do not ride an Edge Express. Like, no, it's a terrible ride, do not ride.
They're not doing.
Yeah, girl.
No.
It's separate. They charge extra for that. It used to come home price.
We got, so we have.
Did you have a question?
Well, I was just thinking on like water.
So we can.
Are we confirmed that, I know it's like way past COVID, but some people still do not have water fountains turned on. Are we confirmed that the water fountains are turned on in the park for kids?
I have a list of questions, things, I can.
Because I imagine they're gonna, like, do you want them taking water bottles on the bus, not on the bus? Like,
Yeah,
if
we'll
your
have we'll have
kids
the
are
water
with
bottles
you,
with them, and they'll, that'll be the only thing that will be interested is their water.
but they're taking that with them?
Yeah, so. I assume so, I guess we didn't, that wasn't in detail that we, but I assume that they would take that, because it's probably.
And
Does it have to be clear? Does it have to be clear, say through?
We will figure
That's
that
what I was
out.
wondering, like, how do they babysit all their water?
Right.
Holding it, I don't know if that's
I
like a
don't
lot.
think a drawstring backpack.
the last time I went to Kings Island, if you just like walked into like one of like the concessions or restaurants and just asked for a cup of water, they gave you one.
Okay.
But that was pre-COVID.
I just feel like they're gonna lose water bottles.
I don't think that's, holiday
Yeah,
month,
yeah. Let's see what we can come up with, because surely we can come up with something better than you guys create some 8 water bottles around that.
Yeah.
So what is?
And if water fountains are turned on, mine is fine. We got
That's a great thought.
If you do not have any more Kings Island field or
field trip questions, we're good to move on to the end of the year celebration. If you would like to stay to help plan, this celebration day. That's amazing. That is part of the celebration.
Oh, I thought this was.
It is an assignment, however. Do you want to leave? Okay. So the capstone, we used to be an IB school, and we would do exhibitions. So if you have older kids who did exhibition, it's a very similar thing. So essentially they are choosing a social issue, an issue around the world. Some have focused on, like land conservation, sorry. Issues within animals, social issues with homelessness, gender inequalities, things like that, based on looking at the sustainable global goal. And they have decided what issue they find to be important, and they're researching what the issue is and ways that they can stop this issue. And they're doing this mostly in reading and writing, with Mrs. Shields and I supporting it during our content time. So they're researching it, they're writing an essay, and then they have to come up with an action, something that they can actually do to help with the issue. So last year, one of the fifth graders, was it one of your fifth graders? One of the fifth graders last year, for example, reached out to the Indianapolis Zoo. And you guys have been getting the emails about like lower zoo costs, I'm sure in all of your newsletters. That is because one of the students actually reached out to the zoo to partner with them for lower costs for our families at Spring Mill to be able to buy tickets to go with their families. So something like that. Some created, I think, videos, posters, stickers, things like that as a way to
Advocate for their. issue.
advocate for their cause and their issue. And so then we show that they have some sort of presentation that shows everything that they did, their research, their essay, their action. And then we go around as a school, and the different grade levels can come to view it, which happens on a day before that. And then on the fifth grade celebration, that is when we have the celebration breakfast, we have the ceremony, and then afterwards, the parents and families that come are invited to look at their child in classes, different presentations before we go outside to celebrate some more for the rest of the day.
Yeah, and we, I know in past, and I was more the bad guy on this one, that did tripod boards that they could use. And we are not doing that. That's not an option anymore, just because I felt it was too easy to be able to print out something and post it on a poster. So a lot of them they can make a website, a video, a cookbook, if they're wanting to do something with healthy living or whatever. So really the sky's the limit, but it's above a poster board. And then it goes so then there's no ceiling. So, and I've been putting in my emails, like, your students will probably need help with this because there's only so much time in reading, because we still have a reading unit that we're doing. But, they're having to write an essay that they need support with and doing their own project that they need support with, that they should be doing some of it at home. Whether that's writing the essay or doing the project or both, you just kind of, what did you do today? Let's just tweak what we did today, things like that, because I conference with as many kids as I can, but it only ends up being about 5 to 7 every day. And that's, little things here and there. So it is a pretty big project, and it's just something that they chose that they're passionate on, but it is a big project, and it will be for a big grade.
And then we're also still working on it during writing time too in class, which I think kind of what we said.
I know you guys came to the spring fling. One of what you guys were looking at was their preview that said their issue and a little bit about what they were doing.
We did a vision board.
Vision board.
Yes, you have a question?
Yes. So did they already started writing on their essay?
Yeah, so a lot of them have started, I have about a handful in both of my classes that have started writing their essay. And yeah, so that essay should come first before their project, so that they can build their project from their essay, so they know kind of what information they're grabbing from.
Have you printed it out for them yet, or like, we need like?
We're trying not to print out, but it is on their Google Drive. There's
They
a paper
can-
shortage, so we're trying to sort of sign it.
Yeah, so
they
if
can
you
sign
go,
in Their Canvas and their Google Drive. Okay.
you can go, if you go on the Washington Township website and then click under, I think, students, it is that tab.
That first part?
The Washington Township website.
Yeah.
If you click on like the tab that says students, it should have their portal and they can just use their login, their username and password. And then they can click on their Google Drive from there. And then for my 2 classes, I think you've also done this for your classes, they have like a capstone folder in their Google Drive. So all their items should be in that one folder.
And then the presentation part, I guess, is all of it an action plan? Like, that's the whole idea?
So, it's more like, this is what, I researched, this is why it's important, and then this is what I'm going to do about it. That's what I'm doing about it. So I've created this thing to help advocate and help change, or make this better for this policy. Okay.
So their presentation should be like a short summary of kind of what their essay was and then their action.
But this would be like a reading and a writing grade.
Right.
So writing grade will be their essay,
Mhm.
and their reading grade will be like the project and their presentation. Thanks. Yeah. And please ask, I love questions. If you have questions about this, Parent Square, like, reach out to us, because that really helps us know who truly is working on this.
So then the capstone presentation is the day of the 5th grade celebration. We don't have the day before.
No,
Correct.
that,
No.
I think
That's
it
right,
might,
that was
it
the
might
thing about
be
that.
listed
Yeah.
on there separately, but that's when they're practicing with the other grade. Yeah, I don't know that would, yeah, that probably was very clear.
I was like,
Yeah, so
No,
they'll
you're fine.
practice and then they'll kind of revise if they need to for their presentation.
If you would like to stay to help plan the 5th grade celebration, you are welcome to stay. If you guys have other engagements, you are welcome to leave.